It's Thursday, September 25th, and you're watching the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network presented by FanDuel, and we have a great show for you today. I'm your host here, Jason Cooper, alongside my friend and producer, Jacob Gramegna, behind the boards. We have a lot to talk about today, and let's tell you the rundown. Who's on today's show? If you're not on Twitter, what are you doing? Go follow us on Twitter at Hammer HQ on Twitter. The Hammer HQ on Twitter.
Link in the description.
And yeah, we got a great show. If you haven't seen it on Twitter, first of all, what are you doing? Second of all, here's what it is. Back-to-back college football. We got Mr. Peanutbettor batting leadoff. We're going to talk a little bit about some Friday night games, which are actually super exciting. Really nice Friday night slate here from the college football schedule makers. And then going to get into some marquee games. Talk a little bit about Heisman, the Heisman Awards, now that we have some maybe it's not as open with the injuries that we've seen this past week, but definitely more open than it's been before. I know it's a November award, but I think it's important for us to talk about. Then we have Jeff Nadu coming on. He's going to talk to us a little bit about his Eagles, which I totally ate crow on last week. And he has a couple games that he really likes. Maybe we'll get into some weather delay issues. I don't know.
Did you have any money on that Eagles game? Were you a casualty?
I was not a casualty, thank God. I had no money on that Eagles game. Yeah, I was staying off of it, which is good. But I just said that Francesco Greco, what's up? Bang, bang. Good to see you in the chat. That Eagles game, I just said that the offense looks vanilla and terrible. Then when push came to shove, they looked incredible. So, I feel like I have to give Nadu his flowers on that because I was totally wrong there. Then finally, of course, every Thursday, like we always do, Hitman's going to come on the show, talk some props, talk through this Thursday night football game that opened up with #WrongTeamFavored, and then the market kind of beat Seattle into the right price, I think. So a lot to talk about there. Really excited. Before we get into the show, though, did you watch South Park last night, Jacob?
Unfortunately not. I play soccer Wednesday nights, so I haven't watched it yet. However, I know what happened, and I will be watching it before we record Circle Back tonight.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was kind of alluding to because, prediction market episode, it's kind of crazy that the betting has gone this mainstream, especially prediction markets.
Prediction markets, just in general, going this mainstream is pretty crazy. I wasn't expecting that out of South Park.
Yeah, it was I thought it was a joke when I first saw it. I thought it was like an Onion article or something like that, but then it was real. I was like, holy shit.
Did you watch it?
I did not watch it. No,
okay. I love South Park. So I would watch it anyways,
yes.
But now I'm going to speed up watching it, so I'm prepared for Circle Back recording later.
I'm curious if the chat watched it all, but I honestly came on here relying on you to have watched it, but I guess you didn't have that much time.
No, I had soccer at 9 p.m. I got home at like 11, so there was no chance because I'm not like Flupp and can't sleep until noon.
Oh man, I wonder if he's going to miss Circle Back today. Luckily, it's not recording at noon, so he won't. There won't be any scares.
No, the worry is Kanish. It's never Flupp for the evening recordings.
Yeah, Kanish has great excuses though. Like he's like, oh, there's traffic. Like, is there really traffic in Detroit?
I don't know.
I don't know if that's a thing. Anyways,
everyone trying to get out of the city, maybe.
Yeah, maybe, but not as bad as we have here in Toronto. Anyways, before getting the show, reminder: smash the like button, goes a long way for us here on the channel. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe as well. If you're from Italy, drop an Italian flag in the chat. Francesco Greco. There is no tomorrow. We got Mr. Peanutbettor coming on quickly. Before we bring on Mr. Peanutbettor, Jacob and I were talking, of course, about that South Park episode. And if you want to get on that conversation, you can get in on it in the chat, or you can message us in the Discord. We have our brand new Discord, discord.gg/hammer. You join the Discord. Have some great conversations with all of us here over at the Hammer, plus the Hammer community as well. Everyone is looking for a place to hang out once the shows end. We finally gave you that opportunity. Discord.gg/hammer. And some people have been giving out bets there. They've been winning. It's just a good time overall. If you want to talk ball, talk anything, really. Hockey, soccer, football, basketball, life, South Park, whatever you want, within reason. Discord.gg/hammer. All right. We got Mr. Peanutbettor coming on. You've seen him on Circle Back. He's a big college football fan. He also is a prediction markets donator is what I have him at. But I won't ask him about the South Park episode. Mr. Peanutbettor, come on here. How's it going?
Happy to join on. Some would say donator. Some would say, predictor, investor. It all depends on how you view it.
Okay.
Liquidity.
Liquidity
supporting the cause. All right. I love it. Let's talk about this Friday night slate because there are two pretty good games for this Friday night slate. And we're going to talk about Heisman odds after as well. But I think when you think about the Heisman and when you think about these standalone games, you have to like kind of think of the two together because Florida State is the first game we're going to talk about here. They're facing Virginia, 6.5 point favorites, 59.5 total. Statement game for them after they have a very tough matchup versus Miami next week. Again, with the standalone game, a lot of people are watching. A lot of eyes are on you. So Tommy Castellanos could drum up some buzz for Heisman here. So yeah, give me your thoughts on this game. Break it down.
I currently show some value at Virginia with +7. I think the short week at home, Virginia has some value there. That's more reflectment of Virginia and how they've done this season than against Florida State. I think Florida State's probably the second best team in the ACC at this point. But Virginia has really overhauled their roster with some portal additions this season. They have looked fantastic on offense to start the year. Not quite as good on defense, but still pretty respectable in that area. So I think a short week, it's going to be tough for Florida State as far as value. But if they are going to win, I do agree that it's going to be due to Castellanos and kind of what he's been doing offensively for them. He's been a perfect fit for Malzahn and that offense. So I would expect a decent amount of points. And if you're looking for a statement game, like you said, Friday night, not many other options for college football fans. This would be the game for him to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, like I mentioned, very tough game for them next week, facing off against Miami, one of the tougher teams in the country. You want to make a statement if you really want to strive to win that Heisman Award. Let's flip over to the next team we want to talk about here, TCU at Arizona State. Arizona State -2.5. TCU road dogs short on the road. 2 years ago, we saw this TCU Cinderella story kind of take place. Are we going to see a similar run this year, you think, or what do you make of this game and how do you break it down?
I think that this season, TCU is really led by, similar to the previous season, they have a quarterback that I think could be the best in the conference and is one of the best in the country in Josh Hoover. He got rolled up at the end of that SMU game. That's something to watch for. He was limping pretty badly, but then did come out to take the final snap in order to take the kneel down. So I think that that's something I would watch at the beginning of the game and make sure he's all right. But, for the season at large, I think that TCU really has a shot to have one of the best offenses in the country due to Hoover. And they found an explosive wide receiver in McAllister last week. They won a shootout with SMU that was pretty back and forth. I think that Hoover kind of provides another dimension to them that not a lot of Big 12 teams have as far as the ceiling. So I think that this game will be pretty big for them. They're facing off against Arizona State, who also has a pretty dynamic offense, also has a pretty dynamic quarterback, Sam Leavitt. At wide receiver, Arizona State has probably one of the most slept-on guys in the country in Tyson. So it should be a back-and-forth game with a lot of points, similar to Florida State, Virginia. So it should be, an exciting two games. I think that TCU winning this would probably put them in the driver's seat to at least be in the Big 12 title game. Obviously, Texas Tech right now has kind of the sizable lead on, the pole position to win the conference.
Yeah. All right. Let's dovetail then into this Heisman talk because, like we mentioned, standalone games, they're pretty important. If you want to buy Tommy Castellanos or Josh Hoover, like you mentioned, both great quarterbacks here who can run a solid offense. Castellanos 25-1 right now. Hoover 15-1. If you're going to buy them, do you feel like that this is the point to do so because they're going to be playing in these standalone games? All the eyes are going to be on them, and if you feel like they're going to have a strong performance, you might not get a number similar to this, like with the season going on.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think that sometimes that does get priced in ahead of time when you think about someone like Dante Moore is going against Penn State and his Heisman odds have kind of been rocketing up. Also, has had obviously fantastic play to start the season. So I do think it gets priced in. An area where it might be underrated is these Friday night games like you mentioned. So these aren't the, primetime game of the weeks that everybody thinks of as, oh, this guy can make a statement, but them just being a standalone event where everybody is going to be watching, especially a Heisman pool that, with the Heisman vote, it's not like the MVP in NBA or NFL where it's a small group of select voters. The Heisman voting pool is gigantic. It's very regional, and it's people that, quite frankly, aren't the most tuned in. So to get, a guy who's playing on a standalone spot where you might get the more casual viewer watching actually has a lot of value. So I think in the biggest games, people have started to price that in. But when you're talking these Friday night games that aren't thought of as the week's, primetime matchup, there probably could still be some value in that.
All right, let's stick with the Heisman talk here. Is there anyone else you like on this Heisman board? I know I've been hitting that Jordan Maeva drum past couple of weeks. He's now down to 14-1. Anyone you like here?
Yeah, I've been banging the Haynes King drum. I think that he just does so much for that offense in terms of what he does both in the passing game and the running game. He's their most important factor in the run game. He obviously is the most important factor as a quarterback in their pass game. He has a gigantic usage. He really kind of carried them in that Colorado primetime victory where he was banged up, ended up with the monster run to seal it late. He carried them in the Clemson game, was going in with a hamstring injury, still managed to win that. And, he still has opportunities the rest of the season. He has a pretty light slate here coming up. And then to end the season, he ends with Georgia in what will be a very big game on a neutral site. They could still be undefeated going into that game. And then he has the ACC title game, if everything goes well, where he also could, have a monster game and huge impact. And for them to win either of those games, it's going to be on his back. So I think that his giant usage, that, gives some value as, in the 20 to 25 range for Haynes King.
All right, Haynes King, I believe he is, where is he? 25-1 right now to win the award. Any other Heisman looks you like, or is that about it? I think you messaged me two other. No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's Joey Knish comes on here, the least qualified guy to talk about the Heisman after last season, talking about how Travis Hunter at 100-1 is a horrible bet. You have to forgive him. He hasn't watched a competent passing game when they didn't have the other team's playbook in 50 years. So he's been toting, Jeremiah Smith. With Ohio State's receivers, I just don't see Jeremiah Smith as the best option. They're going to spread the ball out because they have so many different weapons. Smith is obviously the best wide receiver in the country, but he also has Carnell Tate, who's going to be a first-round pick, Brandon Ennis, who will be, a second or third-round pick, depending on when he comes out, and Max Clare in the pass game. So I think that trying to rely on Jeremiah Smith, it's just the Buckeyes have too many options. Mm-hmm. So if I'm going to go and try to attack that pass game, I want to go with the quarterback who's going to be spreading around to all those guys. Julian Sayin is at like 18-1, 20-1 at some different places. He is lower than Jeremiah Smith on the Heisman board, and I think he has a better spot just due to the fact that he's going to be able to put up stats in every single game the Buckeyes play. A lot of big games, obviously, still the rest of the season. So he's going to have a consistent big game performance across the board. Jeremiah Smith is going to be more up and down depending on how much the defense is trying to take him away. So that's why I think that Sayin is really the better option between those two candidates.
Absolutely. Sayin right now on FanDuel 16-1 to win the Heisman. You mentioned this Washington team previously, and let's get into this Ohio State and Washington game. First real test for Washington here. I think Ohio State's the best team in the country. Maybe you could think I'm wrong here. Is 8.5 enough? Chris in the chat is actually looking at things the other way. He said, how is Washington not close to ranked when they're only 8-point underdogs to OSU? What are your thoughts on Chris's question first, and then what do you make of this game?
Yeah, I think for Washington, they just haven't done a ton, year to date. They weren't a fantastic team last season. They were okay. They weren't terrible, but they didn't do that. Everything kind of projecting them as an 8-point favorite. A lot of it is still projecting in how the offense should be improved this year. Damon Williams, their quarterback, is sophomore, I believe. Maybe still has freshman eligibility. But he is a dynamic player. He's smaller, elite athlete, and it will be really his first test going up against Ohio State this season. So it will be interesting. They're at home. At Washington is kind of a tricky, hard place to play. They've shown a lot as far as offensively for the first few games of the season, but defensively have kind of fallen behind. So I, am leaning more towards Ohio State on this side of things. I think that, like you said, I think if they're not the best team in the country, they're probably one of the top 2 or 3, handful of teams up there that could go either way. So I think that OSU right now has shown more to date, but that the Washington offense is explosive enough that 8 points, 8.5, you really got to worry about a backdoor cover there, especially late. Ohio State showed that they will kind of let you throw it around and keep things in front of them late in the game with Texas. So, yeah, I think that right now it's more of a projection of what Washington's offense could be.
Okay. All right. So you feel like the number is about in that right spot, though, just with the opportunity of a backdoor cover there where maybe OSU leads the game, blows it out a little bit, and then Washington comes back towards the end. Let's flip over and talk to other teams that some might feel are the best in the country. Oregon at Penn State. Penn State right now, 3.5-point favorites at home. Big whiteout game for them. What's your opinion on both of these teams? Who do you think is better on a neutral field? Obviously, Penn State gets a little bit of a boost for being at home. And what do you make of this game? Break it down for us.
Yeah, whether it's Dabo Swinney, Kirby Smart, Mac Brown, every coach basically has had the can he win the big game questions, and none of them can win the big game until they do. So James Franklin has not won the big game yet. In all those games, he hasn't had the better team. He's been, underhanded in those things and almost gets kind of negatively looked at for finishing as the third best team in the conference when you can finish as a fifth, sixth, and take less heat. So I think that most of this big game James Franklin stuff is overrated. I think that James Franklin has the best team in the country right now, and I think Penn State is probably a little undervalued here because of that. I think the game's more like 4.5. Market at this point is pretty efficient, so I don't want to say that there's necessarily value there. I laid 3 earlier in the week. I think Penn State is the better team. I understand Oregon's looked great to begin the season, but I think Penn State really hasn't shown a lot. Has been very vanilla for the first few games, and I would lean their direction this season or this game.
All right, Chad's slightly disagreeing with you. Chris saying Oregon should be favored in this game, but also, you know what Deer Kiss is like.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't know whose opinion he's stealing as a top-down opinion getter, but we'll see later.
Has access to someone else's model. All right, one more game to talk about here. Notre Dame at Arkansas. Notre Dame minus 4.5-point favorites on the road to Arkansas. Total, pretty big number, 64.5. This is one of Notre Dame's hardest remaining games. It's kind of a must-win for them if they want to make the playoffs here. Does this team have enough juice, this Notre Dame team, to go on kind of a stretch run down with these last 8-9 weeks left in college football? And do you think they have a chance to make the playoffs after a win against Arkansas?
I do. I think that this is really a key. Obviously, this is a key game for them. If they lose the game, they're basically eliminated. But they have their struggles so far have been on the back end. They've had some injuries there with Moore and Devonta Smith both being banged up early in the season. We'll see. We still aren't sure which one of those guys is going to play. If either of them are, I would suspect at least one, probably both, to play in this game. And I think that will help them pretty severely on the back end. Arkansas does basically what Notre Dame has the most problems stopping with this passing game. Taylon Green's a heck of a player. He's been really good for them at quarterback this season. But I just think that if Notre Dame really is the team that we thought they were coming into the season, or at least some version of that this is a game you're able to pull out. Arkansas lost to Memphis. Defensively, they're not anything special. In fact, I would say they're probably one of the lower teams in the SEC on that end. And offensively, they're explosive, but they're not anything that's unbeatable. So I think that Notre Dame should win this game. And if they don't, I think it's more of a sign, not that they ran into the wrong teams this early, but that they just were never made to do it, because this is a team, if you're a top 12 team in the country, this is a game that you should be able to handle, basically with no excuses.
All right. Appreciate that insight on this game for Notre Dame. Notre Dame and Arkansas. Last question before I leave you out the door here. Give me your favorite unranked matchup or under the radar game of the week, and tell us why it's your favorite game.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to Duke-Syracuse. Okay. And these are two teams that still have a chance to make the ACC title game, that with a wide open ACC could be more of a factor than people think. Duke has been a little bit up and down this season, have had some really, big mistakes in key moments. They've had errors where the coach is letting guys on the field with the same number. They've had penalties. They're losing the turnover battle in every way imaginable. But they still have a lot of talent, both defensively and offensively, with Mensah at quarterback. Syracuse lost their quarterback last game while beating Clemson. So both they have the biggest moment of their season, beating a Clemson team that they certainly have struggled over the years with, while also losing their quarterback. Their current quarterback that's coming in, he was a competitor for the job during part of it. So I don't think that they should drop off too much. So I think both these teams, are on the fringe of ACC contention. And whoever wins actually does still have a chance to kind of get in the ACC race more than you would think. So I think that that's probably the best game of unranked teams.
All right, I love that. Great answer there. Appreciate that, Mr. Peanutbettor. Let's do this right now before you go. Thursday night football game. I know you like NFL as much as you like college football. Just a gut check. It's basically a pick 'em. Who you have winning that game?
Jason, you're actually lying to the community right now. I don't like the NFL as much as college football.
I never said you liked it more.
Playing Thursday night.
There you go. I'll give it to you right now.
Seahawks, Cardinals. I'll say Kyler Murray was better in college than Geno Smith, so that would be my pick there.
Well, Geno Smith doesn't play on the Seahawks anymore. It's Sam Darnold. So there you go. You actually really do. I thought you knew a little bit about NFL. Maybe whoever's sending me these notes got it wrong.
Vaguely, there's a lot going on with football. You can't be worried about NFL when there's a new Sun Belt coach coming in. You got to learn his pace, okay?
All right, makes sense. Sorry about that, Mr. Peanutbettor. Anyways, Mike at Mr. Peanutbettor, Mr. Peanut_Bettor, right? Mr. Peanut_Bettor on Twitter.
Don't know that either. Really not coming prepared on the end of this segment here.
Mr._Peanutbettor.
There we go. I know there was an underscore lodged in there. Mike, I appreciate you joining us. Hopefully we can hit the craps table soon, and then we'll talk soon.
Sounds good.
All right, see you, Mike. That was a funny one. I feel bad. I put Mike on the spot there. I didn't know he didn't really know that much. Listen, if you're born in the States, you got to have like some
certified non-ball knower.
It's
and
crazy.
He's muted in the background and can't do anything to defend himself now.
Oh man, sorry about that, Mike. I'll get you back. I promise. I see someone in the chat dropping like some horse plays for Churchill Downs tonight. Funny Bunny, 12-1 money line, official horse play from Pickin' Horses. Maybe that can be our weekly horse racing segment there.
Yeah, don't ask me about horses. Don't ask Mike about NFL. Don't ask me about horses.
All right, sounds good. I don't know anything about horses either, but it just seems like it's a good look.
Tail it. Do it.
All right, tail it. I mean,
don't tail it.
Don't tail it. Tail it responsibly if you're looking for fun and want to watch Churchill Downs. Or you could just watch. If you have two screens, which I always suggest people do, have multiple screens. You can watch both Churchill Downs and the Thursday night football game, which we will be doing a live watch along for. Before we bring on Jeff Nadu, just got to give you a quick shout out to our sponsors over at FanDuel. FanDuel is making week 4 even bigger with a chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets this Thursday night. That's right, $2 million. Here's how it works. Opt in and place an anytime TD bet on the Cardinals versus the Seahawks using your profit boost. And if the player you pick scores either the first or last touchdown of the game, you'll earn a share of $2 million in bonus bets. $1 million for each touchdown. I got some dark horses here in the back pocket for you guys. No Zay Jones. So let's go with Michael Wilson to get a touchdown for the Cardinals. And then let's go with Torrey Horton, who I think has looked really well, although a bit on limited snaps. Looked really well as a rookie field stretcher against this cornerback grouping that's really decimated for the Cardinals. It's just one more reason why you want to bet on the NFL with FanDuel. So whether you got a feeling about the opening drive or you're banking on a clutch finish, now's the time to get in the game. Visit FanDuel.com/forwardprogress to download the app today and get started. FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, 19 plus and physically located in Ontario, or 18 plus and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in must apply. Profit boost token on selected market. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the first or last TD. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Call Connex Ontario at 1-866-531-2600 or visit connexontario.ca. Ooh, that was a doozy. All right, let's bring up Jeff Nadu here. He's the host of the Sit Down with Jeff Nadu, one of the biggest crime podcasts in the world. He's a college football bettor. He's an NFL bettor. He's a college basketball bettor. He's also a big Eagles fan, which we're going to talk about again today. Jeff, how's it going this week? I think he's muted on the back end there. You
guys got me?
Yeah, one more time.
Oh, test.
Yeah, we're good.
I got to tell you, that was a rough segment before mine. My own. I'm not kidding. We need to stop bringing these sharp people on to talk about games. They're not interesting. They are boring and don't know how to break down games. I'm going to just say what I have to say.
I appreciate that. Mr. Peanutbettor usually brings a fire. He's kind of funny too, but you know what? He doesn't know anything about NFL. I put him on the spot there. That's totally my bad for not knowing what he's flexible with.
Even college. He's a college expert. That's very low level knowledge there, my man.
All right. Well, listen, I'm not the biggest college football expert. I just have guests on to hopefully lead the way. Well, Jeff, that's why we're bringing you on here as well, giving us some knowledge on college football. But I want to talk about your Eagles, man, because what the heck? I'm like, I totally ate crow last week. That offense in the second half, they were humming. They looked good.
I don't think you ate crow. I mean, the offense was terrible in the first two quarters. I mean, that's your continued problem here. Kevin Patullo, the only reason they threw the ball in the second half because they were down 26-7. That's what made him throw the football. I don't think you had to eat crow. I think you're 100% right. Look, I had the Rams. It was a rough beat.
Fuck.
It was one of the worst I've had. Not the worst I've had, but a pretty bad one. I don't think you ate crow. They only got going with the football because they needed to, and they were down in the game.
Yeah, but that offense is what I wanted to see out of them to make me kind of believe it, because I was starting to lose faith in this team. But they look good. Quickly, your worst beat, if you have it off the top of your head, because that's a really bad beat on the Rams, like really freaking bad. Off the top of your head, do you have a worst beat? 2014
Bahamas Bowl, West Kentucky, Central Michigan. If you know, you know. It was 11 years ago. It was Christmas Eve. It was a 2:00 bowl game. It will never be topped. It's that bad. Up 49-14, laying 2.5, and they don't cover. At the end of the third quarter, they're up 49-14 and didn't cover 2.5. Think about that. It actually happened.
That's crazy.
Horrific. Go look it up.
That's crazy. I got to go look that up. I also saw on Twitter yesterday was the Fail Mary with the replacement refs. People were saying that was one of their worst beat of all time. Seahawks, Packers, when the Packers clearly got a pick and they ruled it a touchdown. Crazy stuff. All right, let's stick with stuff that you were also right about last week. UAB, Tennessee total. I got 3 texts from 3 different people telling me tailing Nadu on this. You smashed it. They smashed through 80. One's in the chat if you tailed that. I think you talked about the over being around 75. You had 74.5 plus 190 is what we gave out here on FanDuel. So kudos to you on that one.
Yeah, that's what I made it. I just feel like you can't set Tennessee totals high enough with the ability of them through the air. They've ran the ball effectively. They're very dominant on the offensive line. Aguilar's been good, and they play fast. I mean, third fastest team in the country. And look, UAB, for as bad as they are on defense, they do throw the ball a ton. So, yeah, it was a nice perfect storm there.
All right, speaking of storms, perfect little segue. Before we get into this week of college football games, I got a bone to pick with the college football rules makers, however this works, because what is up with these weather delays? It feels like there's more and more each year. It feels like there's a ton happening this year. 2 weeks ago, we had Purdue and I think it was Purdue USC. This week, we had the Notre Dame game delayed, Clemson game as well. Like we're seeing games almost delayed to the next slate where they'd start at 3:30 and then pick back up at 7. Like what's happening here? Men used to go to war, and now we can't play football because there's a little bit of lightning.
I mean, let me break this down, okay? There are 340 million people in this country. Okay, do you happen to know in the last decade how many people were struck by lightning in America? Do you know, offhand?
I would have no idea. No
idea.
Okay,
400. In the last 10 years, there are 340 million people in America. I understand it's dangerous in like an open setting like a football field. Does it really need to be? Why 8 miles? Look, if there's lightning 5 miles away or 8 miles away, what the hell does that have to do with a foot? I mean, look, I could understand if it's spotted in the stadium or something. Fine. But what do we care about what's going on 8 miles away? And again, why is it 8 miles? Why not just make it 10? Why not make it 15? What are we doing here?
It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I also read that like every time there's a lightning strike within that radius, it resets a 30-minute clock. So it's like, what do we do? We have to wait all this time just for like, yeah. I'm curious.
Jason, do you understand what the percentage of 400 of 3? And listen, if you want to be particular, if you go back 10 years, there were approximately 320 million people. Do you know what the percentage of 400 to 320 million is?
I'm
not good with math, but it's like literally a fifth of 1%.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I had to give you your floor here to kind of rant and rave about that because I agree with you. It's like, what are we doing here? We're getting games that start at 3:30 and then they're picking back up at 7. It's just we're going through an entire slate.
And you know what?
The game.
They always lose when you bet on them. If that happens, if you see a weather delay, whether you have the over, whether you have the side, you're losing.
Yeah, it's just the way the world works. It's a cruel world. Sorry, thankfully college football has tons of games for us to bet on. So hopefully there's very little rain delays left on the slate. I mean, we're getting terrible rain here in Toronto, so hopefully that doesn't come down to the States and push for more rain delays this this week. Let's get into the games, though. There's one game in particular you wanted to talk about, and we'll lead with that game. Louisville at Pitt, plus 4.5 right now. Pitt is home dog. 57.5 total. Big ACC conference game. Louisville feels a little short here at only a 4.5-point favorite. Do you agree with this number? Do you think that the total's right? Give me your breakdown on this game.
Yeah, I like Pitt here. They're off a bye. Obviously, they played that backyard brawl and lost. We'll give West Virginia the credit. Seems like they only play well against Pitt. I look at Pitt, dominant defensive line. They always have one under Pat Narduzzi. I'm not going to tell you they have a great secondary, but they have a good defensive line. This is a Louisville team that struggled up front, particularly in the offensive line. They played a pretty good JMU team a few weeks ago, struggled there. JMU was winning for most of that game, and then they used their muscles to kind of take care of business. But I feel like Pitt's just kind of a better version of JMU on the defensive line. Eli Holston's a good quarterback for Pitt. They're at home, which is huge. This is a totally different team on the road. You look at against the spread at home, they've covered 8 of 10. On the road, they've lost 8 of 10 on the road against the number. So being at home is huge here. Neither team's played a particularly good schedule. I just feel like, to me, I'm getting the better team with points. I think this number should be down more towards 3. I don't even know if you truly make Louisville a favorite. I guess you have to, just because they are slightly better, at least just on the field. But I like Pitt off a bye. They have that advantage here. They're at home, good defensive line, and their quarterback can go toe-to-toe with whatever Miller Moss and Jeff Brom are able to do. Give me Pitt plus the 4.5. I think they get the job done here.
All right, Pitt plus 4.5. Let's lock that in. I mean, there's no real official tracking on this show, but I just wanted to say let's lock that in. It's minus 110 over on FanDuel. Would you flirt at all with that plus 150 money line if you like the spread, or is that like a little? You need a larger number there.
Yeah, I do. I think these two teams are closer to even than we're giving them credit for. Again, Louisville's a team that, I like Miller Moss. Again, they probably should have lost to JMU. Yeah. They kind of pulled away in the fourth quarter, but going into the fourth, that was tied. So yeah, I wouldn't mind it.
All right. Well, I love it. A little opinion there from Jeff. Always good to see. Also, good breakdown of the game. Got to get Mr. Peanutbettor watching this back to understand maybe how the real ones do it. Let's flip over because you were talking Miller Moss, former USC quarterback. Let's talk about the current USC quarterback because they're facing Illinois this week. Illinois got absolutely embarrassed last week, which honestly I hated to see as a USC fan because you never want to play a team that's a ranked team, that's a relatively good team that's coming off an absolute beat down. I think they lost by almost 60 points there, Illinois. But it's a tough game. Feels like the numbers kind of gone out maybe too far on USC. 6.5-point favorites on the road. Plus, Jacoby Lane is probably not playing for USC, so lots going to be on the shoulders of Mekhi Lemon to kind of lead this wide receiver group. Do you feel like the 6.5 has gone out too far? Because I feel like it'd be a lot closer if this was played at the beginning of the season. But, I mean, Illinois hasn't looked good as well. USC's looked better than expected. But this is the first real test for USC, so break down this game for me here. Yeah,
look, I don't like Illinois. I've said it from the beginning. I think anybody that had this team ranked top 10 was a complete ignoramus. I mean, it's just a ridiculous thing to do. They couldn't move the ball last year against good offense or good defenses. I'm not going to tell you that USC is an elite defense, but I'll tell you what they are elite at. They're elite in the trenches. They're much bigger. They're stronger. I heard a stat recently. Their defensive line averaged about 270. This year, most of them are above 300. They're bigger. They're stronger. They're more athletic. They're getting good kids there. And it showed 16 sacks so far they've had through a couple of games. Do you know what Illinois has allowed, Jason, on the offensive line? They've allowed 16 sacks. Wow. This is a major concern. You win in the NFL and in college football in the trenches. And if you have good trench play, you'll get the job done. I think USC has it. Throw in the fact I heard you talk about Maeva. He's terrific. They've got plenty of weapons. They're more balanced this year. They're not just a throw the ball every play type of team. They're running the ball more effectively. I think they're much better. And throw in, look, I don't necessarily want to lay 14-21 with USC, but this is a manageable number. I do think a lot of people just assume that Illinois will bounce back. Look, are they 63-10 bad? No. But they're overvalued. They have struggled against teams better than they are, and USC's better than they are. I think USC wins by at least a touchdown here.
Yeah, fair. I love that breakdown. I was a little worried because this number is pretty large. But if you're out on Illinois, you're out on Illinois. I think I agree with you. But
this isn't like I know the west to east thing's kind of been difficult, but this is Chicago. It's a pretty easy trip. LA to Chicago. You're not going to like Rutgers or somewhere like that. It's a pretty simple trip here. a little bit more manageable, if you will. And the teams are getting more and more used to this. So I think they'll be fine on that round as well.
I hope so. I really need USC to come through this week because they have this week and the next 3 weeks after that, they have a bye. But very, very tough games, and I want them to prove to the world, to the college football world, that they are one of the best teams in college football, and I want them to make that playoffs. It's going to be a good run for them this year. Let's flip over and talk the last game I want to talk about with you. LSU at Ole Miss. Ole Miss right now laying 1.5 points at home. I don't know if you saw this on Twitter, but Lane Kiffin, absolute biggest dog of a head coach. There's out here, I think it's Sydney Wells is her name, saying like Lane Kiffin was hitting on her, who's she's like 21. And then I look on Twitter and I see.
I don't blame him. Really.
I know, fair enough. I see on Twitter Lane Kiffin saying take the over in this LSU Ole Miss game because there's a picture of his daughter hard launching her relationship with LSU's linebacker on Instagram. So give me a breakdown on this game. Again, Ole Miss minus 1.5 favorites at home, total 54.5. What's your opinion on this game? What are your thoughts on Lane Kiffin's comments on taking over? Pretty crazy stuff there.
Yeah, look, I don't knock him. I would do the same thing, to be quite honest. Sydney Thomas is, she's hot. What are you gonna do? He's single. He's got a lot of money. Good looking guy. As a good looking guy myself, I will do the same thing. That said, I don't think the whole relationship thing matters much. Good for them. Happy couple. It's good for social media. As far as the game, though, I was maybe a little bit down on Ole Miss's defense. I think a lot of people were. But look, Arkansas moves the ball against everybody. I was really impressed with how good Ole Miss's defense looked against a very good G5 offense in Tulane. Jake Retzlaff was playing good football. They completely shut him down. I'm still not in belief LSU's defense has moved the way it should. Throwing the fact it's on the road, I don't think there's a ton of edges here by any means, but I do like Trinidad Chambliss. It's a shame he wasn't the quarterback from the beginning. You look at him as a very sleeper Heisman, he is going to put big numbers up. And if he drops his nuts on LSU this week, that number is going to cut in half. He is a good quarterback with plenty of weapons. That defense might be a little undervalued at home. All they have to do is essentially win. I lean Ole Miss here.
All right. Trinidad Chambliss, like you mentioned, 50-1 right now to win the Heisman. That wraps up for our segment today, Jeff, but I actually need some help from you and last little comment from you out the door. I'm feeling a little under the weather. I haven't felt good the last 2 days. Do you have like an Albanian home remedy that I can try that you can suggest for me?
No, not really. I mean, the unfortunate part about season changes and stuff is you get a little under the weather.
Yeah.
I was under the weather a couple of weeks ago. Now you just got to drink, lemon water, stuff like that. Just kind of stay hydrated, get some sleep. Eat decently. I don't know that there's a particular home remedy, though. If I find one, I'll let you know.
Please do.
But all my grandparents, unfortunately, are gone, so I can't call and ask them.
All right. Well, I was hoping that maybe you had some European knowledge for me, but you know what? I'll try again next week. Jeff, appreciate you coming on the show. We'll talk soon.
All right, guys. Thank you.
All right. See you, Jeff. At Jeff Nadu on Twitter. Always a great time. Always a great segment. You know what? And he's giving me the perfect ammo to go after Mr. Peanutbettor next week because I agree with him. Honestly, Moretto does Mr. Peanutbettor a disservice booking him back to back with Jeff Nadu because he just gets his absolute lunch eaten. So tough bounce.
Yeah, Nadu gets to go second and roast him.
Exactly, I love it.
Background muted.
I love it. He deserves it. He's got to do a better job for us. Anyways, up next, talked a lot about college football. Today we're going to be talking about some Thursday night football. But if you want to listen to some more NFL football content, head over to Forward Progress HQ today, 5 p.m. Eastern time. We have our best bets show. It will be Rob, it will be Suma, and it will be Judah on today. Should be a great show, breaking down every single game on the NFL slate, giving out their single hammer, double hammer, triple hammer, their 3 favorite bets of the week. Been successful so far, and word on the shoe is that Hitman was supposed to be on that show, but he kind of lost it last year when he had
lost
a
his
terrible
mojo.
Record. He lost his mojo. He said, "You know what? I'm done. I'm retiring from NFL."
Oh, we're getting word that there is no Judah today.
Oh, no Judah today.
Late cancellation.
All right, sorry. Then I assume it's Austin. Maybe Hitman joins the show. Who knows?
So it'll be it'll be Rob.
Austin.
No, it's if Rob. Who else?
Rob, Suma, and Austin.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless it's someone else. I don't know.
It'll be Rob and Suma. That's for sure.
That's for sure. All right. All right. Let's bring him up. He's one of the best prop bettors I know. You can catch him tonight on our watch along in the fourth quarter. And what is he in? Whatever his handicap is, I think he's an 8 handicap. I don't believe it at all. But yeah, one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Hitman, how's it going?
I mean, Clive Bigsby played with me, and I shot an 83 that day. So we have proof of the fellow Hammer creators.
Okay, well, I have a question for you. Go ahead.
We have evidence
of
a fellow Hammer creator.
All right, well, I need the evidence myself, so come to Toronto and play some golf with us. Let's dive into this Thursday night football game. Talk right about it right out the gate here. Seattle at home. Sorry, Arizona at home to Seattle here. Arizona opened up as favorites. Got bet out. Seattle is now the favorite here. Is this the team? Is this the hashtag right team favored right now? Because I felt like on the opener, Seattle should have been favored out the gate, but obviously openers were a little different. Then we saw it bet into place. Do you feel like this is the right number right now at Seattle -1.5?
Honestly, I kind of like Arizona right now at 1.5. I am not betting it on game day limits. I don't think I'm qualified for that as much as I think I am decent at sides and totals, but game day limits a little bit tougher. I do think those with access to -120 teasers, which are still out there, if you look hard enough, I think Arizona makes for a good teaser. That's how I personally played the game tonight.
All right. Looking at maybe a teaser angle. Any opinion on this total of 43.5, or you want to just dive into props right away?
No. I might take, like in some pick'em contest, Arizona +1.5, like I said, but and the teasers, but yeah, nothing on the total. We'll just get in the props.
Notoriously 0-3 in our Hammer pick'em group, Hitman. So good luck. Maybe don't.
No, I'm 1-2.
1-2. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, it's just fake news once again.
All right. Well, the confirmed news is that you're a stale line merchant. So, anyways, let's talk about this game right here, and let's start with the Seattle pass catching group versus kind of a banged up Arizona secondary. I think 4 of 5 of their best corners are hurt this week, or at least coming in banged up. JSN looks like an absolute stud. Sam Darnold loves to feed him the ball. We can see him get upwards of 10, 12, 13 targets. Cooper Kupp, we haven't seen worked in that much. My question to you is about Torrey Horton, though. Right now, 25.5 total. He's not an every down player, but I've been super impressed with his ability to play, and I think he has a lot of downfield speed, which can open him up for some deep balls and maybe score a touchdown here. So break down this pass-catching group for Seattle and who you like and why.
Yeah, I haven't played anything with it, but I do kind of believe that Torrey Horton, we could see a point during this year where his prop number is a lot closer to Cooper Kupp than what it is right now. Right now, there's about a 15-yard difference between them. I wouldn't be surprised if Horton did close that gap. Now, am I saying it happens this week? No. I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised about that. And one of the guys that I have a lean on, again, I didn't play this, but JSN, who you mentioned, his receiving yards right now is up to 85.5. And this is one of the run heaviest offenses in the entire league with a quarterback that, you know, I know he's from USC and you love him, but there's still question marks about Sam Darnold, in my opinion. And like, how much higher can this number get? Like, is JSN going to be a guy later in the year that we're looking at in like the mid 90s, close to 100 receipt? Like, I think JSN might be at the peak right now of how highly he can be lined at. And I know, listen, the matchup's great. Arizona's down a bunch of guys. But again, 85.5 yards, one of the run heaviest offenses in the league. I think the number is just a tad. I'm not going to say it's some banger or anything. I think it might be a tad high.
Okay. All right. Tad too high. 84.5 -112, both sides on FanDuel over here. Let's flip over and talk some Arizona pass catchers. Zay Jones isn't playing this week. Any opinion there on this Arizona pass catching group that hasn't looked really good to start this week or this season, even though they've had kind of weaker competition?
Yeah, I mean, I think naturally everyone was looking at Greg Dortch props. I was as well. Unfortunately, when the opener came out, there was a service that likes to bet the openers and give them out. And Dortch over was a play. It got blasted to, like, right now. what's Dort receptions at? Like minus 170 on the over?
Dort receptions right now is minus 164 over 1.5 is what.
Yeah, the early number was good in my opinion, and some people might say, well, what about the yards on Dortch at minus 112 juice or whatever? Greg Dortch has one of the lowest ADOTs in the entire league. So I thought receptions was the better play with him. Like I could even see like an anti-correlated parlay on like Dortch over receptions under yards or something being a possibility. I also think that Arizona might go to more 2 tight end sets as well, just because their offensive line is really banged up right now as well. So, and the last guy I wanted to touch on, I think if there is a guy that is undervalued in Arizona's pass catching core, it might be Michael Wilson. He got a big boost in snaps last week. He was kind of hovering around like the 65% range. I believe he got up to like 80 last week. And now we have the Zay Jones injury. I mean, Zay Jones was a slot guy for the most part, but it still can't hurt for Michael Wilson that Jones is out for this game. So that would probably be the guy that I think could be the most undervalued.
All right. Michael Wilson, 23.5 right now is his yardage total at minus 112 on both sides. Let's talk a little bit more about this Arizona grouping. Running backs. We saw James Conner get hurt. Is this just kind of full go for Trey Benson, or do you think Amari DeMercado could get in the mix? Or is there anyone I'm just not even thinking about right now who could see some carries? I mean, hey, are we going to see Kyler Murray maybe run the ball more? What are your thoughts here on this running back grouping?
I think that Benson is going to take the James Conner role. Okay. Amari DeMercado is really just a third down back. I'm sure they're going to activate Bam Knight for this game, but he was inactive previous weeks. I think Benson's the guy. I think he's going to play potentially 75, 80% of the snaps. I don't believe that it's going to be a committee. With that said, Arizona with the offensive line injuries right now, I could see it being a game where like Benson maybe is used a little bit more as a pass catcher this week on early downs specifically. They just end up throwing to him on early downs. So I really don't like – I know Benson right now, the over rush yards is the best in market at FanDuel right now. But personally, I have no interest in it.
All right, the rushing yards right now for Benson, 54.5 minus 112. DeMercado, 14.5 minus 112 as well. Hitman, let's have some fun here and let's build out this parlay in an SGP. You talked about 2 things that I'm going to hone in on when building this SGP. I think we're in agreement on this Torrey Horton Cooper Kupp usage, where we could see kind of Cooper Kupp get not phased out a little bit. It might not happen this game, and Torrey Horton maybe get a little bit more usage than we expect.
Yeah,
so
Horton might just be a better player for all we know. Like course. Cooper Kupp, I think, is washed.
I agree with you. He did not look very good to end the season.
So like as the year goes on, I could see Horton overtaking him. Yeah,
absolutely. So we're going to take the over of 25.5 on Horton. We're going to take the under of Cooper Kupp at 42.5. And then we're going to look a little, and you talked about this reverse correlation bets here. So we're going to take Greg Dortch. We're going to go 3+ receptions towards the over. And then we're going to take his under 15.5. Very small margin to work with, but hey, like you said, one of the lowest ADOTs in the entire league. You combine all those together. You get that at 70-1. Obviously, please play responsibly, but Hitman, are you convinced on this one? Do you like this one at 70-1?
I mean, as Kramer and Seinfeld said when they said that the odds on the Knicks to win by like 35 or more was like paying 20-1. He said that's some sweet action. So 70-1, we got the sweat of a Greg Dortch who has one of the lowest ADOTs in the NFL to catch 3 passes but go under 15.5 yards. I think it's a nice sweat for everybody. I do like the anti-correlation on the Dortch stuff. So. And we talked about the Hort. Don't look at me like that, Jason. We talked about the Horton and the Cup, so we're on board. I like it.
I like it too. What are you talking about? That's why I was just going to say that on FanDuel, if you have FanDuel, you can bet it your way. If you're feeling a little worried about this Greg Dortch, you can slide him up to 20 yards, get under 20 yards. So you get 5 yards of coverage there. Obviously, we'll bring the odds down a little bit. Don't have the exact price for you because I'm not on my phone right now. We'll never be on my phone during these shows. But yes, if you're interested in doing that, you can slide it up a little bit. And you can do the same with Cooper Kupp and Torrey Horton. Maybe slide Torrey Horton down, slide Cooper Kupp up, and take the unders and overs there. FanDuel Your Way is a great way to play Hitman. Before I let you out the door, there's some touchdown props I want to get to. Anything in particular you like for this game, or is it just going to be kind of a similar look where maybe Torrey Horton is your guy? Could you see A.J. Barner catch a touchdown? Maybe Sam Darnold running in? What are your thoughts here?
I'd say maybe Elijah Higgins, the second tight end for the Cardinals, would be my long shot guy.
Elijah Higgins. All right. He is 14-1 right now to score an anytime touchdown. 80-1 to score first. 55-1 to score last. Hitman, I appreciate you joining us for the show. So wait, hold on. Saturday. We have a show together. Got to let the people know. What time are we doing it at? Let's figure it out now live on air.
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock Eastern time. All right,
and
perfect.
Just make sure that everybody joins it and you're there because the lines do move in real time. So I would say that this is a good time to subscribe and have notifications on when the hammer goes live.
Perfect.
Because if you're watching it late, you might get some good info from the Q&A, but you're not going to get the plays in all likelihood.
What a fantastic plug. You can take the mic from now on.
But it's very good, but it is Forward Progress, not the hammer.
Yeah,
almost perfect.
Almost perfect. Forward Progress HQ, which I believe is in our description as well as one under.
It is indeed
one of our main channels there. So yeah, head over to Forward Progress HQ, hit the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell to be notified when you go live. And like you mentioned, there's also a ton of value being there live because hey man, we do a Q&A every week, and I think that you give out some good info there as well. So it's important to be there live, ask your questions, fire away, because Hitman. Listen, he might not look like the smartest guy in the room, but when it comes to football, he often is.
That's a good plug. Thank you. By the way, who was the guest? I seen Kanish tagged me and said that he hated the guests today and everything. Who was on other than me today?
It was Mr. Peanutbettor, who kind of sucked. Not going to lie. I got to give it to him. But Jeff Nadu, who killed it, honestly. And then you did a pretty decent job as well. If I had to rank them, it was Nadu 1, you 2, and then long ways down, it's Mr. Peanutbettor.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, Kanish, the bar is set so low.
Yeah. Well, if he ever wants to come on, the floor is open. If he wants to improve this guest list, I've always offered him, but he never will come on. Maybe the chat. If you tweet at him enough, he will. Hey man, one last question before I let you go. How many times do you think Rob has switched out his putting ball? Like, does he use it every time? Do you think it's lost juice now, or like how many times? Like, how many putts does he take to switch it out?
I think Rob will correct his mistake. I give him a hard time, but I do believe that he's going to start playing by the rules now.
No, I
don't think. Go on.
No, I was just saying you misunderstood the question. Rob has a specific putting ball, right?
Yeah.
How many putts does it take for him to switch out that putting ball? Like how many putts will it take to before it loses its juice and usage?
I mean, it's never happened because the only time you want to switch out the ball typically is like, when it gets if it hits the cart path, and it gets scratches on it and marks on it. But I mean, you literally only use it on the putting green. So it should always be clean. He should be using that ball forever, theoretically.
So over under 1,500 strokes on that ball on the putting green.
I'd probably take the under just because he's so bad that he's probably hit a putt so bad that
it
like
rolls
it goes off the green and like on an island green. He's probably hit one so bad that it just rolled off the green and went into the water. I've seen his putting stats on the app that we share, and I'd say his swing is prettier than mine.
Okay.
But there's a reason that I'm like 5-6 shots better, and a lot of it is probably short game would be my my thesis.
Yeah.
So.
Well, maybe his problem with putting is that he's just using the wrong ball. He's got to find a new ball to use. So, anyways, Hitman, appreciate you joining the show. We'll talk soon. We'll actually see you on the fourth quarter on the Forward Progress.
Yes, we've had some good plays on the fourth quarter. Also, we've had the last 2 weeks. We had live plays on unders on running backs that never played another snap the rest of the game.
Very good stuff. Very good stuff.
So, everybody join. Not a guarantee that we have anything.
Yes, because last show you didn't give us anything. So this week this show you're going to give us 2 is what you told me.
I'll never force anything, guys, but you'll get some entertainment at the least.
I appreciate it. All right, Hitman, we'll talk soon.
Bye.
All right, see ya at Hitman428 on Twitter. There we go. Remembered it off the top. One's in the chat for Hitman, who always does a great job breaking down the game. Tonight, I'm definitely going to yoink his Elijah Higgins anytime touchdown scorer, even though I have Trey McBride in fantasy, which would be a little bit painful. But 14-1 seems like a great price, and love my anytime touchdown sweats. Just trying to see if I can find if there's better prices. Usually FanDuel has the best price in the market, but the internet doesn't work at this place, so won't be able to find it.
AC doesn't work either. Rob's got us in fucking hell here.
I
man.
am dying. Also, like some tragedy before the show. These 3 poor birds flew into our office. I was like, am I going to get shit on mid-show? Like, I mean,
there were 3 birds in here.
Yeah,
they left though.
All right, chat saying there is better prices out there. It's all right. Even if I got shit on by a bird, it wouldn't be getting shit on harder than Mr. Peanutbettor did by Jeff.
Yeah.
Nadu. So
destroying the guy who came on before.
Tough look there for him. Tough look. All right. If you enjoyed the show, you know the drill. Drop a 1 in the chat. Seems like it's a great thing to do for us in the algorithm here. Also, if you're new to the channel, and you made it this far, hopefully we've earned your subscription. So smash that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell as well if you want to be notified every time we go live. Because guess what? We're live the same time every single day, noon Eastern, Monday to Friday. But if you ever forget, if you're in a meeting, you're going to be like, boss, I got to head out. I have to eat lunch. Just kidding. Watch the Hammer Daily with Jason Cooper. You should be doing that so you get those notifications on your phone. And then also do us a huge favor. We just crossed 3,900 subscribers. We're trying to get to 4,000 before the end of the year. Before the end of the month. What am I saying? Before the end of the year. Before the end of the month might be a little tough. But yeah, tell a friend about us. If you really enjoy this content and you like the video, you're already subscribed, the best thing you can do that can help us out is just tell your friends. If they like betting, if they like entertainment, sports entertainment, that's what we're here for. So appreciate you guys in the chat. Up next at the Hammer, of course, I mentioned the Best Bets show tonight at 5 p.m. The GRP video, don't forget, came out 8 a.m. this morning. We had a little bit of troubles on the back end with YouTube getting it uploaded, so we uploaded it this morning at 8 a.m. So yeah, go check out the GRP video. Best Bets, like I mentioned, 5 p.m. Eastern time today. Watch along with George, myself, and Alex Moretto will be live at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And then the last thing we have there is Circle Back. Live at 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Round Robin Isaac, the guest tomorrow, 8 a.m.
Going to be a great show, and you guys are obviously going to talk about the prediction market stuff with
South Park will be a feature on Circle Back today. I can virtually guarantee that.
All right, you got to give me the opinions before the show because I'm curious. Or send me the clips before the show because I want to watch it, but I don't really have time.
You'll be working. Sorry, pal.
I appreciate that. Tomorrow we have a great set of guests, I believe. We have blanking right now on this. It's George covering for Survivor. Unfortunately, last week.
I can see why you forget about him.
Last week we lost our Survivor, which kind of sucked. But
so what? You just get to go.
We get to repop. Obviously, like we're still going to talk about Survivor. That's how
I
we're.
thought the segment was done.
No, the segment's not done. We're still going to continue. Also, kind of feel bad because both of us took Buffalo, which means I'm still alive in Survivor pools. But
but in the ones you gave out, you were debating between
KC and Atlanta. KC was a smash. Atlanta was a big loss.
Did you end up taking? I thought you ended up taking a KC.
You know what? Let's go back and AI scrub and make it look like we took KC.
Who did you take?
We took Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
George really wanted to take Atlanta. He's saying in the chat he wanted KC. He's lying. Don't listen to him.
Okay, yes, this is what it was. Yeah, I remember now. He wanted KC, but he lets you pick Atlanta so that if it loses, he's going to come on tomorrow and give you shit.
There we go.
It's himself.
That is fake news. Of course, then we have Austin Mock talking some college football. Right. And then finally closing out the show, we have Ian McMillan talk about some Ryder Cup, NFL, MLB, just a variety of good stuff.
You got to get him talking about the Jays, too.
Yeah, oh my God. We need a couple wins here. It's getting tighter and tighter. 4 games left.
Just gotta. It's not as bad as the Tigers, but blowing a 5-game lead in 2 weeks is pretty bad.
Yeah, tough stuff. Anyways, appreciate you guys tuning in. We will see you tomorrow on the Hammer Daily, presented by FanDuel on the Hammer Betting Network. We'll see you all tomorrow.